I had to clean my damn car out. Let me go make sure that before I turn this YouTube on, the baby is. I watched her down and put her in her swing because she was going to sleep. Like she would sleep for a little bit throughout the walk, but then when we got back, she was like going back to sleep. So I put her in her swing. So let me just take a peek. I can't let her see me because if she is going to sleep, she gonna get up if she see me. So let's hold on. All right, she good. And my daughter is in the living room on the phone with her friends. So, all right, y'all. First up, let's see what I got. I got my bud. Let's see. All right. Resetting the notifications. All right, let me show YouTube what I'm doing. And Facebook, I'll show y'all on the next video. So y'all, look, this is what I'll be doing. Excuse me. So I swipe the app up. You can do it a couple times if you like just geeky like me. And you see that's the first one. And I would read something like that. But come here. Now if that's the same video, see look, boom, we definitely gonna listen to that one. Cause it's like this is for you. Y'all saw that, right? I'm gonna show Facebook next round. So you start rewind it, you'll see that that's the same video that's in my For You and my most relevant.
Chosen one.
First one too.
I'm about to reveal something so shocking about your protection status that you'll never see your life the same way again.
So
But first,
Astral
you need to
Autumn
understand the three
on YouTube.
classified documents that were
What's
created
up,
about
y'all?
you when you were just a child. The third document is so sensitive that only 12 people on Earth have ever read it. And what's in that document? We'll get to that in a moment. But first, right now, there
Yeah, I
are
always
military
have my
personnel whose
light
entire
brightening
career
down because
revolves
the
around
light
one
bothered me.
mission, keeping you
But
alive.
we're gonna put it up
Not
so y'all
because
can
you're
see.
famous, not because you're wealthy, but because of what others discovered
Y'all
about your
got
bloodline that made
YouTube
them
looking at y'all
classify you as
Facebook.
a level 9 spiritual
So show me
asset.
some love. They can
3
see
months
y'all.
ago,
Y'all
something
comments.
changed in your energy field. Military satellites designed to monitor spiritual frequencies registered a massive spike in your location. Within 6 hours, protective units that had been
So I'll show
stationed
y'all what I
remotely for
just did
years
to get
suddenly
my little angel
relocated to
messages on
positions within a
YouTube.
5-mile
But I
radius
just
of
showed
wherever
my
you live.
YouTube.
Want to know what caused that spike? You started cutting toxic people
It's
out of
called,
your
it
life.
says,
But that
Chosen One, because of what others know about you, special forces are
That's
assigned
not
to
the
protect
crazy
you.
part. The crazy part is what happened to those toxic people after you cut them off. I'll reveal that in a moment. But first you need to understand the childhood incident that started everything. When you were between 5 and 7 years old, something happened that you remember only in fragments. Adults were present.
I already
There was
know.
some kind of medical equipment.
Already
And
know.
afterward phone calls were made to numbers that don't exist in any
When
public
I was
directory.
telling y'all earlier today, it was two things that happened that made people like hospitals and stuff like want to research shit. Because when I was little, I'm gonna tell you two things, real PG, so Facebook and YouTube won't get their panties in a bunch. Um, all right, I'll just tell you about the incident with the ants. I already told y'all so many times, but we just reacting to the video. So when I was little, I was sitting in I don't know if it was a playground right where I was. I think it was a garden. Yeah, okay. So I was playing next to this big old garden that was gated, something like that gate in front of us, but it's just a small perimeter. And I was playing with flowers. I was picking them and smelling them. I remember a little, like he said, fragments. I remember playing with flowers, and I didn't know that I was that a bunch of ants were on my legs. And I was just sitting there like a regular child. All the kids were playing. And I remember my oldest brother coming up like, girl, what the you doing? Or something like that. Or it wasn't I don't know who it was first, but I know my whole family saw this. But I didn't know I was surrounded with ants. And until they started slapping them off me and was like, girl, get up. And they tried to lift me up and I fell back down or something like that. And I remember saying I can't feel my legs, but I wasn't in panic mode. It was so natural. And the ambulance came and got me and all that stuff. And that's when we discovered that I was allergic to ants. But I was playing with my imaginary friend then. I had an imaginary friend when I was little. And I told them that I was playing with my imaginary friend, and it's like an angel. That imaginary friend of mine was an angel. Every time I was having my imaginary conversations with my friend, because I'm on the spectrum, y'all. Most spectrum people have imaginary friends, so I'm not trying to scare y'all. But every time I was talking to my imaginary friend, I didn't notice until now. I'm looking back on all those instances. It was like when something bad was about to happen, and it's like the angel was protecting me or something. So I tell you, we'll skip that one. We'll go to the time I was like 5, like he said, like 5 or 6. I'm not sure, but I had my old walker that my mom still had at the house. It was like it was always outside somewhere, and I would just play with it. I don't know. They was about to throw it away, I guess. But I was playing with it, and my mom always told me not to play on that thing. I knew better. My brother kept telling me because my oldest brother was there, and he told me several times, "Girl, don't get your butt on that walker." So I hard had make us off fast. I got on the walker, and I remember me going down 24 over 24 flights, and I didn't feel it. I was trying to tell everybody I have a wonderful long term imaginary. I mean, a memory, but I have a bad short term. I will forget stuff that you just told me, but I remember I didn't feel no steps, y'all, and they confirmed because when I got to the bottom, I didn't have not one scratch on my body. And I was telling them that it was a lady with long, pretty hair. She was pretty with that. She caught me when I got to the end. They was looking at me crazy, like, what is she talking about? But that's what really happened when I fell down those steps. That pretty lady with the long hair to the floor that I saw, my imaginary friend, it was a little girl with her, and they caught me. The lady caught the angel caught me, and she was smiling. She was so I remember she was so beautiful. She was smiling at me. She didn't say not one word. She was just smiling at me. And it's like when the people came, when my brothers, I heard noise. Okay, I'm gonna tell you this is how I remember. She was smiling at me, and I when I heard the noise, the noise that I'm talking about is my brothers and all everybody saying, "Are you okay?" And it was like from a distance. They was like that, and I couldn't really hear them. And then the angel went away. I promise. Okay, let's keep going. I can't make it up because my family saw this.
Phone calls were made to numbers that don't exist in any public directory. That incident generated 3 classified reports. The first report documented your energy readings. The second report recommended immediate protection protocols. But the third report contained a prediction so accurate, so detailed about your future awakening, that it's been kept in a vault 7 stories underground for decades, and every single prediction in that third report has come true, except one, the final prediction, the one that's about to happen. Here's what's absolutely insane.
Wow.
The people who have been attacking you accidentally revealed their entire operation to your protection team. How? One of their inner circle was actually a double agent working for your guardians the entire time. For years,
Thank
your
you,
enemies
Father.
have been planning rituals, coordinating attacks,
I told
and
y'all.
sharing intelligence about your weaknesses.
Yes.
What they didn't know is that every single conversation was being
Being
recorded.
recorded.
Every ritual was being monitored. Every attack was being documented as evidence. But wait, it gets even more shocking. The double agent isn't just anyone. It's someone you've interacted with personally. Someone who gained your trust while simultaneously feeding information to your protection detail. Someone who's been safeguarding you from the inside while appearing to be neutral.
Whoa.
The identity of this person will blow your mind. But first you need to understand the spiritual technology that's been protecting you. Every time you've survived something that should have destroyed you, every time opportunities appeared exactly when you needed them, every time your enemy's plans mysteriously fell apart, none of that was luck. You've been living inside an invisible protection grid that operates like a spiritual force field. This technology was developed by combining ancient bloodline protections with modern military precision. The result? A defense system so advanced that attacks against you automatically trigger countermeasures. But here's the part that will give you chills. Your protection grid doesn't just defend you. It learns from every attack. It adapts. It gets stronger. And after years of constant attacks, your shield has evolved into something so powerful that your enemies can no longer even get close enough to attempt direct confrontation. That's why they switched to psychological warfare.
That explains a
That's why
lot.
they started using flying monkeys.
Bet.
That's why they resorted to energy draining instead of
Cause
direct
folks was trying
attacks.
to take me
But
out
even those
heavy.
tactics have been failing spectacularly.
When I say
And
heavy,
here's why.
boy, I need
These
a
aren't
whole support
metaphorical.
system that I
These
already
are
had.
actual
Didn't even
genetic
know. Here we
sequences
go,
that
God.
activate under specific conditions. When you began your spiritual awakening, these protocols came
Treat
online
me like
automatically.
Osama bin Laden.
The moment you decided you deserved better treatment, the moment you set boundaries, the moment you chose yourself over toxic relationships, bam, ancient protection agreements that your ancestors negotiated centuries ago suddenly became active. But here's
Here
what
we go,
nobody
Granny.
expected.
I love you, girl.
Y'all,
My grandma steady no business.
Let's make a difference
We
together.
just met Etta just now walking.
When your bloodline protection's activated,
Etta is the one I bought the sativa from the store. It's on the receipt, y'all.
they didn't just
I didn't know
shield
that till I got home.
They
I
created
looked
a
at it in the
reverse flow
bathroom taking a
effect that
poop,
sent
and
every
I'm like,
attack
oh
back
shit,
to
her
its
name was
source with
Etta.
amplified force. The
Here we
poverty
go.
rituals performed against you. The energy is now manifesting poverty in their lives.
It's
The
like it was a
isolation
confirmation.
spells,
Good job.
they're now experiencing
Yes,
the loneliness they tried to create
because
for
I could
you.
easily go buy
And
weed.
that's not even the
No,
most shocking part. The most shocking
don't
part
do
is
it.
what happened to their own bloodlines when they attacked yours.
And I love my
When your
marijuana,
enemies
but
performed rituals
I guarantee
targeting
you
your
won't catch
lineage,
me getting none
they
no
triggered
time
something
soon.
called bloodline justice protocols. These ancient spiritual laws
They won't
state
use
that
that
anyone
against me.
who attacks a protected bloodline automatically transfers their generational blessings to their target, while inheriting their target's generational struggles. Translation: they gave you their family's good fortune while cursing their own descendants.
I just
But the
said that.
truly insane part, some of them are just now discovering what they've done. Family members who had nothing to do with the attacks are suddenly experiencing inexplicable hardships. Businesses that had been successful for
Maybe
generations
this is
are
really true.
mysteriously.
Maybe this is what my grandma said, because when I told her about my dream when I was little of falling, and because I had forgot about falling down the steps, and she said you did fall, and I said huh, and it's like the dream's not coming to me after that. But she said, come here, girl, because she seen that I was worried. She went in the kitchen and boiled something and made me drink it, and she said that her grandma, if I'm saying it right, her grandma was a part of the witch trials, and I didn't believe her back then, but I looked it up, and I said, I wonder if grandma talking about the Salem witch trials. Oh God, I'm on to something. But she made me drink something, and I remember it made me feel good. Here we go.
Businesses that had been successful for generations are mysteriously failing.
To the family,
Health
you guys
issues
think
that
I'm a
never
witch.
existed in
Your
their
great
family
great great
lines
grandma
are
was.
suddenly appearing.
It's not what you think though.
You're experiencing the exact
They were
opposite.
healers,
That
not these
unexpected
fake
money that
ones that
started
study
showing up,
this shit.
that's their generational wealth
We
transferring to
don't make
you.
curses and
Those
spells, babe. We don't
opportunities
do
that
that. We
appeared out of
reverse them
nowhere,
hoes.
those were meant for their
Shit.
family members. The healing you've been experiencing, that's their ancestral blessings now flowing through your lineage instead.
I've never
But wait
done
until you hear
a
about the
spell,
military doctor
not
who
even no for
documented
nobody,
everything.
cause
A
I
military
know it'll hit
physician
me
with level
hard.
12 security clearance
Real healers
conducted a
know that.
comprehensive evaluation of your
You could go
spiritual
to a voodoo
physiology.
priest, and once they feel my energy, they gonna decline your whole payment if they ain't about if they don't walk about on money. You know what I'm saying? They gonna decline and say, "Oh no," like how the movies be. "Oh no, I can't. I gotta and get up. Hurry up. You gotta go. You gotta go." You know?
This wasn't some casual assessment. This was a full scientific analysis using equipment that most people don't even know exists. The
I wonder
results
if
were
that
so
happened to
extraordinary
somebody
that
who
the
tried to
report
do
was immediately
magic on me,
classified above top
cause I always
secret.
feel like that.
Only the president and 12 other individuals have been briefed on the findings. What did they discover? Your energy field contains frequencies that match communications from off-world civilizations that maintain protective treaties with Earth. Translation, you're not entirely human. The star system where your consciousness originated.
Whoa. So I was just
maintains
researching
active-
because y'all, I read a lot. Because Ancestry, I don't know if y'all was on my live. Was it yesterday or the day before? But I had got a hint from Ancestry because I got a lot of these little places that I started family trees with since I was like 17 years old. Or I think I was younger because Granny helped me with some of it. But I just got on Ancestry in 2018, I think. But Ancestry sent me a hint about a family member named Americas, a family member named uh damn, I forget. It's a couple of them, and my grandma. So I wanted to look it up and figured out. That's why I tell y'all, Africans, uh, it's all tribes. African was one tribe, just like Cherokee was one tribe. You got Blackfoot was one tribe. You know what I'm saying? But we separate. Mexicans was one tribe. You know what I'm saying? But we kind of like fingered it. But I got a hint about an ancestor, and it was a little it was an article about ancient Kemet that I come across after doing a little digging, because Ancestry definitely ain't tell me that. But after they gave me that little hint, it was like a real hint to finding out more shit, because I dig deep and I won't go to sleep either until I figure out, like, damn, this is what Granny wanted me to know, or else I'm gonna keep digging. So I found that out, and it was like they was talking about ancient Kemet and the star system, the spiritual beliefs that our ancestors, like, because there was different tribes. I'm telling you, the Africans. So I'm proud to say that I know I'm an African. When I tell them I'm Cherokee, they think, oh, be proud of your African heritage. Bitch, I know I'm African. We mutts out here.
Maintains active monitoring stations
What you
around
mean?
Earth,
My
specifically
original
to protect
lineage is
individuals like
Cherokee
you.
though. It's Blackfoot.
When threats against you reach a certain threshold,
No hate.
intervention protocols activate
Africans are beautiful.
automatically.
What you mean?
That's not the crazy part, though.
They were
The crazy
powerful.
part is what
I'm
happened
just
when
telling
they
you how
tried
it
to
is. We
replicate your
didn't
DNA
come on
sequences
the
in the
Jesus boat. We
laboratory.
was here.
And now,
Most
let us take a brief moment
of
to honor
them
the chosen among us.
came here.
Here's to
And
the
they
ones who
migrated.
see
They
the
helped,
world
like the
differently.
Mexicans. Hold on, let's talk about that
Silent.
again. Like the Mexicans helped Africans, and a lot of these. See, look, Cherokees and all these Indian tribes. We call them Indian. I hate to say that. We're gonna just say the indigenous. Cause my grandma used to get upset when I said that to her. I don't know about y'all. If y'all had a Choctaw Creek or a Cherokee ancestor Seminole, I know if you told them, if you brought that word Indian up, I know they got mad. If they didn't, they wasn't a real tribe member. Cause my grandma, when I would say, she would ball her face up and probably say this, like that. She would cut me the fuck off and say, I reckon we was Cherokee. Indian is an Indian giver. Those people came across somewhere else. So I researched it because Granny really didn't know what she was saying was right. I looked it up, and the Indians come from the Indonesians. You get what I'm saying? Let's keep going. Hold up. But they mocked the Indians. They mocked the Cherokee, the tribes, by calling us Indian givers. Look up the real
Silent
motive behind
guardians,
Indian
the
giver. You
watchful
gave it to
souls,
us and you want it
always
back.
awake, always vigilant. They don't fit the mold, and they wouldn't have it any other way. While others walk familiar paths,
Most people
they
don't know
forge
that.
their own, fighting unseen battles, illuminating the shadows.
It'll
It's
teach
not
y'all to
for
get in y'all
everyone,
spiritual
and that's okay.
traditions
But
that
if you
we
feel it
lost.
deep within, you'll know this is meant for you. No masks, no pretense, just truth. The Obsidian Inner Order is here, a place
Hold
where
up, let me go
kindred
check this
spirits gather
baby
to share
one more
wisdom,
time.
to connect,
Cause
to
I think she's
transform.
asleep now.
Over 450 strong, united not by conformity, but by purpose. If you're ready, you know where to find us. The link is in the description. If not, that's perfectly fine, because we're always here watching over, making a difference in ways unseen. Here's to those who walk their own path, not for recognition, but because it's who they are. Here's to you. Thank you. Military scientists attempted to synthesize your genetic codes to understand how your protection mechanisms work. The experiment lasted exactly 47 minutes before they had to shut down the entire facility. Why? The synthesized DNA began generating energy fields so powerful that equipment throughout the building started malfunctioning. Security cameras captured footage of objects moving without being touched, temperature fluctuations that made no scientific sense, and sounds. Sounds that made experienced military personnel evacuate the building. But here's the truly terrifying part. The synthesized DNA was only a partial sequence. They had maybe 12% of your actual genetic information. Imagine what would happen if they had tried to replicate your complete spiritual blueprint. That incident convinced military leadership that you're not just protected,
In a minute, I'm gonna
you're
go
a
get the
walking
monitor
spiritual weapons.
because I'm charging it so I could just bring it out here and I won't have to keep getting out to check the baby. But my baby is in the living. I love my baby girl. I love both of my kids, but my baby love her big sister because I tell Sierra this. She do this stuff, nice sweet stuff. She buy the baby stuff, order her stuff because she love you. You know what I'm saying? Or else she wouldn't do shit. She'd be like, hell no, it ain't my motherfucking baby. But she be like, mama, I got her. What is you doing? Say, nah, baby, because you only 14 years old. She said, I'm about to be 15. I looked it up and I can be a babysitter. Say, girl, sit down. She makes me smile.
Just protected. You're a
Sit
walking
down.
spiritual weapon system that could
It's just
reshape
me being
reality
a
if
mother.
fully
Like, I'm used
activated.
to it.
And according to
So
that
it's
third
like a mind
classified
thing.
document I
I
mentioned
got I
earlier,
gotta come check
your
her.
full activation is scheduled to happen soon. Remember how I mentioned that your enemies have been using intermediaries to attack you? Well, your protection team has identified every single person in their network. They know names, addresses, communication methods, and attack schedules. But here's what's absolutely mind-blowing. Several of these flying monkeys have no idea they're being used. They've been spiritually programmed to feel compelled to create drama in your life without understanding why. The programming is so sophisticated that they genuinely believe their hostile feelings toward you are natural. They've been given emotional triggers that activate when they encounter your energy signature. They've been fed false memories that justify their behavior. But your protection team has been deprogramming them one by one. Everything was going as planned until it wasn't. My water broke at 36 weeks. William's heart rate had been dropping. At that point, the whole floor rushed in. But your protection team has been deprogramming them one by one. How? By exposing them to your authentic energy field in controlled environments. When flying monkeys encounter your real energy without the programming filters, something incredible happens. The artificial hostility dissolves instantly. They suddenly remember feeling inexplicably drawn to attack someone they actually have no legitimate grievance against.
Goddamn.
Several former flying monkeys have now become part of your protection network after realizing how they were manipulated. But the masterminds behind the
I
programming,
feel that too.
they're about to face
I see
something they
that
never
and I
saw
feel it.
coming. The land where you were born contains crystalline deposits that don't appear anywhere else on Earth.
Shit.
These aren't ordinary
Oh,
crystals.
okay.
These are naturally
That
occurring
makes sense.
spiritual amplifiers that were
Oh
placed there
shit. Hold up, babe.
specifically.
You on to something. I'm listening to Astral Autumn, y'all. Go check him out. He on to something. Let me tell you. When I first came to this town, I told y'all we're gonna keep it PG. But y'all, I told y'all when I first moved here is when I didn't know about this place. I'd never heard of it prior to coming. You heard. So I'm telling y'all, Shack folks sent me here. Not Shack per se, but the shelter that put me out that said my trap art was a rifle. So I researched before coming here because they had me in a shelter. A hotel, no weapon foreign responsible. They had me in a hotel for a night. And I remember I had a few dollars to pay for a couple more nights, but I was planning ahead. And I took the offer that they gave me to transport me to the nearest shelter or the shelter that had a bed. So they went to research, and I remember them calling. This is all on my Valenciaga channel too, because I was live most of the time. So I researched the three places they gave me from the list that they said had beds open immediately, so that when they would hold it 24 hours. I think I was on the second day when I called them and told them I researched overnight type shit. So they were gonna take me there and everything. So I had to pick from three. One was Thomasville, Georgia. What's the odds? My grandma was born in Thomasville, Georgia. I tried to take that one first, but the lady called me and said it was full. It was this town I'm in, and the other town. Damn, what was the other town? I can't even. I ain't gonna even lie. I don't remember the other option that they gave me. But even that one, like before I made my decision, I'm gonna tell y'all the truth. I had made my decision with this town before that other place called and told me, no, they didn't have the bed no more. After I was gonna take that because they were finna give it to me, and they were saying they had a program in that town that was gonna house me right away. But the place called me right back. Like I remember it being fast, like an hour later or something like that, and they was like, "Oh, that's not even available." So I was really stuck with the first choice that I was gonna take, which is this town, only because I saw the name and I like the significance of Rome. Like, cause when I was little, I used to research Italy and Paris and France and Brazil, Spain, and you got Venezuela, got a whole town, a whole, state called Valencia City. Is it a city in Venezuela and a city in Spain called Valencia? So I always wanted to go there. But make a long story short, once I got here, because I was on my binge of research from the hotel to when they picked me up, we had to take that long drive, on the drive a little bit. And when I got here, that's when I discovered that there was gold here. Not only, no, hold up, I'm going too fast. I'm lying. So the first hint I got was that my ancestor was from this town. Yeah, that's how it went first. And when I found out my one of my ancestors, I kept finding a lot was from here. I didn't know that. But I found out that there was gold in this town. And that's what made me say, oh shit. That's is it because I was thinking it was angels. Like that's why the angel sent me here. But I'm looking at it now like the Freemason boys did this. Okay, but anyway, I figured it out. I'm like, oh shit, that's why the angels wanted me to come here to find this out. Like, oh shit. So great granny and Henrietta uh mama was fucking a part of the Trail of Tears. Oh God, Granny was right. And they wanted it. My crazy mind figured it out. I said maybe that I was talking to a friend now at the shelter, bro, that knew a lot about this town. That the one told me about the gold being found. Here. She remembered the exact time when her family told her when it happened. So I'm like, oh, so maybe that's why they evacuated these tribes. It's a whole bunch of gold. She said, and I was told they found a couple specks of diamonds too. So let's keep listening.
Occurring spiritual amplifiers that were placed there specifically to support your mission. Satellite analysis reveals energy
So to
patterns
those
around your
friends and families going against me for these little gift cards and free cars and good jobs from the Freemasons, you listening to what you really doing. You helping them go against your ancestors because this Freemason, see the BLK Masons and Freemasons don't know that this is really the Ku Klux Klan's uh organization.
geometric shapes visible only from space.
Swallow that.
These patterns match star charts from the system where
How
your
you feel about
consciousness
that, y'all?
originated.
You didn't know that, huh?
Coincidence?
Some of them don't know.
Absolutely not.
But the top
Your
Shriners and
birthplace
stuff know.
functions as a
These are
spiritual
KKK.
communications array, maintaining
So
constant
honestly, think
contact
about it.
with
They don't care
off-world
about you.
protection forces.
No matter what they
When you're
give you,
physically
they
present
don't
on
care.
that
The
land,
ultimate
your
goal is to
abilities
demolish
increase
you,
exponentially. When you're away
demolish
from it,
you
the crystalline
spiritually.
deposits project a protective field that follows you wherever you go. But here's the part that will shock you. Your enemies discover this connection.
It's like what they did to the tribes when they made, and I hate when I hear people say it now. Oh, the Indians enslaved Africans. No, they had no choice, bro. We don't talk about that in school. That they had no choice. Those folks bribed them like they bribed y'all to join the lodge.
To force you away from your power source for years.
We'll give you this. We'll give you that.
Every time opportunities dried up in that
Send me a
location.
nigga.
Every time you felt inexplicably drawn to move elsewhere. Those weren't natural
Sorry, guys.
circumstances. Those were coordinated attacks designed to separate you from your spiritual technology. But the crystalline network has been fighting back.
Okay.
Trauma Bait Forge's fighting back tie. In 1873.
So the ancestors cleaned it up for me. Go back a few seconds. When I said what I said, this guy came right after. Notice that I'm always aligned with what I'm saying in the video. Back me up because it's really an angel message. Listen, notice when I said what I said, how they trick y'all to join the lodge and say, I'll give you this, I'll give you that. And he said what it did was, in other words, tricked you off of your spiritual path. along with your ancestors.
A treaty was signed between Earth's hidden spiritual authorities and representatives from your home star system. This treaty established protection protocols for specific bloodlines that would incarnate on Earth during the planet's awakening period. Your lineage was specifically named in that treaty. The document,
I just
written
talked
on
about the
material
Trail of
that
Tears. Remember, there's a broken treaty that still haven't been settled. And they thought you think that you keep wiping them out, it's gonna be forgotten. It's never forgotten. That's why they made that saying. Like, keep going.
doesn't age and stored in a location
It's
that's never
important that
been
we
publicly
we do what's
disclosed,
right with that treaty though.
contains
Those
detailed
spirits is
predictions
powerful.
about your life,
You can't
your
block it with
mission,
DARPA.
and the opposition you would face. Every major challenge you've
You can keep
overcome was
advancing and
predicted in that
evolving. You still can't
1873
block it. It's gonna come
document.
through the clouds.
Every enemy who targeted you was identified by description, if
Sorry,
not by
guys.
name. Every protection that saved you was pre-authorized and pre-positioned. Here's what's absolutely incredible.
It's like,
The
can we
treaty
all get
included
along?
provisions
That's what
for
I
what
feel.
would happen if Earth's governments tried to suppress or harm
It'll be
protected
a better
bloodlines.
place to
Those
call home.
provisions have been activated 3 times in your life.
No matter where you
Situations that
from.
should have destroyed you resolved in ways that defied all logical explanation. These weren't lucky breaks or divine interventions in the traditional sense. These were direct off-world interventions authorized by the 1873 treaty. Advanced craft
Ooh.
positioned in Earth's
Research
upper
that.
atmosphere deployed technology that altered probability fields around your.
Hold on, baby. Hold on, baby. My intestines is jumping right now. I'm gonna read both of these different, but this one say, here's a more detailed look at each. Fierce of Fury Treaty. Britain and Zanzibar. This treaty, signed in June 1873, formally prohibited the import of slaves into Zanzibar and led to the closure of the slave market in Zanzibar, Stone Town. It was a major step in the suppression of the East African slave trade, according to Wikipedia. The treaty was largely a result of British pressure with threats of naval blockages and was a difficult decision for Sultan Bargash bin Said. Barnard Agreement, U.S. and UTE. This agreement, signed in September 1873, involved the UT people, or did I say it? Yati, UT people, citing a portion of their reservation in Colorado. Let's screenshot because I want to research that tribe, especially the San Juan Mountain region. The agreement led to the development of mining in the area, but also contributed to increased tensions between the UTE and the U.S. government. Peru and Japan Treaty. This treaty established diplomatic and trade relations between Peru and Japan. It is considered a foundational document in the relationship between the two countries, marking the beginning of Japanese migration to Latin America and fostering cultural exchange. Other notable treaties from 1873. It was a league of the three emperors. This alliance between Germany, Austria, Hungary, and Russia from Russia with love, aimed to neutralize potential conflicts in Eastern Europe and isolate France. Okay, Treaty of Defensive Alliance, Bolivia and Peru. This secret treaty aimed to protect the two countries from Chilean expansionism, or is it expansionism, fueled by the Child's ambitions in the Atacama Desert. The screenshot. Slave Trade Act 1873. This act of the UK polygamy consolidated existing treaties for the suppression of the slave trade. Hold on, y'all, because I feel like that's still none of that was what he meant. Anglo. Okay, hold up. Let's read the encyclopedia. Uh, Anglo-Russian Agreement of 1873. An attempt by the foreign offices of London and St. Petersburg to find the northern boundaries of Afghanistan. After the First Anglo-Afghan War, British India and Afghanistan settled into a relatively peaceful coexistence. Ouch. Das Mahmud had returned to Kabul in 1843 and appointed his son Muhammad Akbar as chief minister. Norris chapter 1, having an annexed Sindh in 1843. Annexed Sid in 1843 and the Punjab in 1849. The British were his close neighbors. In March 1854, Lord Dalhousie described relations between the two states as sullen coincidence on either side, without offense, but without goodwill or intercourse. India offers records, secret letters, and dispatches. The Russians, meanwhile, had a treaty with the Can with the Can and Kiva. Can and Kiva. I got some research, y'all. So y'all gonna hear my intestines jump. That's real cute. Hold on. Let's screenshot this because I'm gonna research that. Can and Kiva. And we're moving closer to the Central Asian Khanate or Khanates. Uh, Khanates, uh, Khanates, 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 Khanates. Khanates, okay, Asian Khanates in 1855, Afghanistan, and the East India Company signed a treaty at Peshawar. Jajorian Chapter 4. Das Muhammad promised 12.7 or 07 or 1207 to be the friend of the friends and the enemy of the enemies of the British in India. He became their inactive ally during a brief war with Persia over Herat in 1856 uh, in his eventual war just before he died in 1863 was Herat itself. Wow. The British did not interfere in the subsequent quarrels among his kin during the 1860s. There go that word again. Khanates fell one by one to Russians Tashkent in 1865, Bukhara and Samarkand in 1868. Also in 1869, British and Russia began negotiations to define northern boundary of Afghanistan. The Jajorian Abbot eventually agreed on a line from Lake Victoria and east to follow Persian frontier and west closely following the course of Oxus. Okay, at the moment the agreement was concluded early, I get it though. Right, already, I'm gonna start. Oh, it's about to be finished. Prince Gorkova, or is it Jakarta, avowed the Afghanistan lay. Wait, Gorchov. I don't know how to say that. I can't even move past it. That's the spectrum, y'all. I'm sorry. Uh, I think it's Gorkashov, or is it Gorshafar or Goshakov? Yeah, that's how it is. Goshakov. Avowed. I think I said it wrong. I should. Let's see if this Android do that. I have a translator on my iPhone that read what I. Here we go. Oh, but this one don't let me hear it. See, on my iPhone, when I put translate, it also give it to me different ways. So let's see. Avowed that Afghanistan lay woolly outside Russia's sphere of influence. And the same one, his government assured Britain that Russia had no intention of annexing Kiva or extending its possessions in Central Asia. But by June 1873, Kiva was in Russia. Oh, Kiva was in Russians' hand. And, come on, phone. Where was I? Let's go back. So, in the same months, his government assured Britain that Russia had no intention of annexing Kivu or of extending its possessions in Central Asia. But by June 1873, Kivu was in Russians' hands, and Kokwan followed in 1875. Within a few years, the Russians were as much in control of the Onyx as British were to the Indus. The intended buffer zone of the impending no longer exists. The foundations of Second Anglo-Afghan War were laid. Hmm, I get it. It's just, I'm still not.
Deployed technology that altered probability fields around your specific circumstances. Enemies who should have succeeded found themselves making inexplicable mistakes.
As I've
Okay,
gotten
I was
older,
on to
I
something.
sweat buckets under my boobs. I'm speaking as an OBGYN now.
Enemies who should have succeeded
Hold
found
on, I'm still
themselves making
researching.
inexplicable mistakes. Resources that should have been unavailable suddenly became accessible. People who should have opposed you inexplicably changed their minds. The interventions were so subtle that even your protection team wasn't initially aware they were happening. It was only when they analyzed pattern data that they realized off-world forces had been actively managing your circumstances. Those subtle interventions are about to become much more obvious. When your enemies perform ceremonies designed to trap you in financial
Okay,
struggle,
so
they violate.
Google tried me. They detoured me, but that I get it. The main conflict associated with the 1873 indigenous people in the U.S. military was the Modoc War, which took place in the northeastern California and southeastern Oregon. It was a conflict between the Modoc tribe led by Captain Jack and the United States Army. You son of a bitch. The war was fought over the Modocs' refusal to relocate from their ancestral lands. You son of a bitch. To the Kamoth Reservation. The Modocs was a tribe resided in the area around Tall Lake and the Lost River in present-day California. The Modoc War, this was the conflicts. The Modoc War began in November 1872 and 1873, you son of a bitch, and lasted until June 1870 fucking 3. You smart. You smart, babe. It was smart. It was so cute, AI. But I caught you. I'm like, Queen AI, let's go. It was spark. Let me stop. I told y'all this is what I do. When I feel like there's something else that I need to know, I feel it. And I just didn't feel it with that, but I understood somehow. But I just like fragments. But this is it. The Monarch War began in November 1872 and lasted until June 1873. It was sparked by the U.S. Army's attempt to force the Monarchs onto the Kalmoth Reservation, which they resisted. My bad. Captain Jack's strong fucking hold. The Monarchs, under the leadership of Captain Jack, famously retreated to a natural lava formation known as Captain Jack's stronghold. They used the terrain to their advantage, making it difficult for the much larger U.S. Army force to dislodge them. Ooh, key events. The war included several battles and skirmishes, including the Second Battle of the Stronghold until April 1873. A significant event was the killing of General Edward Canby. That's me a screenshot. General. During peace negotiation, the only time a full-ranking U.S. general died in the Indian War. The Modoc War concluded with the Modoc surrender, the execution of Captain Jack and three other Modoc leaders for war crimes, and the exile of many Modoc people to Oklahoma. Oh, so they was moved to Oklahoma first. It was never okay. The Modoc War significance. The Modoc War is notable for its high cost in lives and resources. The Modoc's effective use of the terror and the killing of General Canby It was considered one of the most costly Indian wars in U.S. history, according to the National Park Service. You son of a bitch. Wow. And they gave me a picture here on. Wow. That says a lot, y'all. To people who I'm still reading. Let me play.
They violated several clauses of the 1873 treaty.
Wow.
Specifically, they interfered with a protected bloodline's ability to complete their mission by attacking their material resources.
So they was
response-
moved with the Swanee tribe to Oklahoma. That tribe. So as you see, we're talking about a tribe that was, I'm talking about in California, that was forced to relocate to another tribe called the Swanee in Oklahoma. So imagine how many tribes, like the Africans were one tribe, babe. It's not a nationality. It's a tribe. And this is how we all got mixed up blood types and bloodlines, lineages, because we all were migrated and we were all breeded. You know what I'm saying? Mixed breeded is the word. We were all mixed breeded. Like a mud puppy. Okay, hold up. So why is it not letting me hear it no more? What happened? Alright, my phone glitching. Hey, I just hit a note with that shit. Let me show y'all on my channel. It won't even let me listen to it no more. It's not on the Bluetooth. It won't let me turn it up. I just really pissed those. Yeah, you see?
Expenses they couldn't explain began draining their accounts. But the cosmic
Wow.
justice system wasn't finished.
Now it's letting me turn it up. You see? It didn't let me turn it up. It just clicked back on. Y'all just saw that.
Dollar for dollar.
It's only because all my phones hacked into. I'm positive, and my neighbor is hacked into my phone too. Because the Mexican guy, I used to assume he was hacked into the phones, and I just said it. I didn't really know until one day my daughter tell me, because our phones and everything was off again back then. We had no Wi-Fi, and I was like, "How you on there?" She said, "Oh, the neighbor told me I could use her hotspot." I said, "Huh? Why?" I said, "Did you ask her? Don't do no post shit. They don't do. That's embarrassing." And she gonna know we, She said, "No, I didn't ask her." So, I was right. So now that he moved, they not on. I don't see the little VPNs that I saw. Yeah, I'm geeky. I can see everything. But the neighbor is hacked into my phone and my computer.
Dollar for dollar, opportunity for opportunity, their loss became your gain. And according to cosmic
He
legal
don't even know.
protocols, this transfer isn't temporary, it's permanent. Remember when I mentioned that someone close to you has been working as a double agent for your protection team? The person I'm referring to has been in your life for years. They've witnessed your struggles,
Yes, ma'am.
offered
I said
support
that.
during difficult times, and gained your complete trust. What you didn't know is that they've been reporting every detail about the attacks against you to military intelligence units specializing in spiritual warfare. But here's the truly shocking part. This person isn't just gathering intelligence. They've been actively sabotaging your enemy's operations from the inside. Every time your opposition planned a major attack, this double agent found ways to disrupt their preparations. Equipment malfunctioned at critical moments. Key participants suddenly became unavailable. Information was linked to your protection team with enough advance notice to deploy countermeasures.
Maybe that's what that movie I was watching last night. It's just a really good movie. I forgot what it's called. I was watching Tubi because my Netflix off too. Everything off, just broke. Look, I was watching Tubi, vibing, binge watching too. Like, oh shit, they done got so much better. But look, in the movie, that was this big Mexican mafia guy. He was a good guy though. Like he looked out. If you looked out, he gained your trust. You was good. But once somebody in the little next group crossed him, you notice everybody start falling off from him. Like, oh hell no. In the movie he would call his usual plugs and he didn't understand what the fuck was going on. Like, oh shit, what the fuck? This made sense. Like people was turning snitch to get him fucked up for the mafia guy.
Floor you, but first you need to
coming
understand
around
what's
him. They
about
had
to happen.
they had a guy come friend him the whole fucking time and got ghost on his ass and set his ass up.
Your
Big fact.
enemies. The spiritual attacks against you didn't just affect the people who performed them. The negative energy they generated has been spreading through their family lines like a virus, affecting relatives who had no knowledge
And
of
the
what was
mafia
done
guy
in
was
their
a
name.
police, y'all, in the movie.
Children in their families are suddenly struggling with behavioral issues that appeared from nowhere.
So you could get the drift of how
Marriages
the
that
movie
seem
was.
stable are inexplicably falling apart. Health problems that never existed in their genetic lines are suddenly manifesting across multiple generations. Meanwhile, the opposite is happening in your lineage. Family members you haven't spoken to in years are suddenly experiencing positive breakthroughs. Relatives who struggled with the same patterns for decades are finding themselves free from
See, I'm
limitations they'd
helping people.
accepted as permanent.
They should, y'all
Health
all should
issues
be
that
helping
ran
me,
in your family are
forming
mysteriously
alliances.
resolving.
Cause what I'm
But the
doing
truly
ain't
insane
just helping
part,
me.
this
If we
healing
really want to
effect
know the
isn't
truth,
limited to your current incarnation. It's rippling backward through
shit,
time,
what I'm doing
healing
gonna leave your
ancestral
kids
trauma
and grandkids some shit, babe, cause it's finna change everything. But you don't even know that,
that affected your bloodline for centuries.
Shit.
Your protection detail operates with a budget that most people couldn't comprehend. Advanced surveillance
Imagine
technology
a
monitors
world
threats in
where you
real
got
time.
you don't have to pay rent, you don't have to pay mortgage. Don't cut me off, YouTube, and this is only for a few. Listen, imagine you got land, you get this is what we call in the village now. You able to do that for other people, then you bring your friends in, your family, your loyal people in, cause now you could do that, and this gonna be for a lot of tribes though. You see how I'm finna tell y'all in a few. Hold
Communication
on.
networks that bypass conventional systems keep your guardians connected
No
across multiple
$5 shit though.
agencies. Resources that
We
are
talking
typically
about
reserved for heads
genetics.
of state have been allocated to ensuring your safety. Here's what's absolutely mind-blowing. You never requested this protection. You never applied for it.
Nope.
You probably weren't even aware it existed. This protection was automatically activated based on spiritual authority protocols that recognize
It's like I
certain
hear in my
energy
spirit,
signatures.
like the piano with color purple. Oh, that did it. Instead of saying, "Oh, gotta go." Oh, that did it. Like the more these people kept touching me, it made my ancestors rise in a sense.
As
Come on,
deserving of divine intervention.
cause
Translation,
I'm a good
the
person.
universe itself requisitioned military
I
protection
probably
for
never
you.
really did
The
nothing bad
personnel
my whole
assigned to your
life
case
to
consider
nobody.
it the most important
That's
mission of their
why it's so
careers.
heavy like
They're not
this.
just protecting another person, they're safeguarding someone whose spiritual development could
That
alter
really
the
the truth. I ain't got
trajectory of
nothing to prove
human
to nobody. I
consciousness
probably
evolution.
never did nothing
And
bad to
according to
nobody my
their
whole life.
intelligence briefings, your full awakening will trigger planetary level changes that will benefit all of humanity. Every person you've helped heal, every toxic situation you've walked away from,
Come on,
every
babe.
boundary you've established
Come on.
has been building toward a massive
I told you,
activation
they
event.
just cleaned up what I
Your
just said.
spiritual
It's because of
development
how I
hasn't just
live
been
my whole
personal
life. That
growth,
angels
it's
are
been
really
preparation for
surrounding me,
becoming a
protecting me,
planetary
and
healing
seeing shit
force.
for what it is, and
The
haunting
same
these people
abilities
that
that
do it.
others tried to
Big
steal
fact.
from you are about to activate at levels
Then
that
they
will
drag
allow
them
you
like a
to heal
dog in front of me, literally too. Like drag them like a dog in front of me and say, "See what we did." Yeah, that's how they roll.
generational trauma in entire
'Cause
bloodlines with a
that's
single
just how we
interaction.
roll. I hear that
The
song.
gifts they attempted to transfer to themselves are developing within you at accelerated rates. But here's the truly incredible part. When your healer protocol fully activates, you won't just be helping individuals, you'll be participating in the healing of Earth itself. Environmental damage will begin reversing in
No more
areas where you
sinkholes.
spend time. Social conflicts will mysteriously resolve in communities you visit. Political tensions will ease in regions where your energy field has
No more
influence.
hurricanes.
This is why your protection is so
No more
extensive.
tornadoes and
This is why
twisters.
off-world forces monitor your development.
We won't have to
This is why
moderate
your
them or
enemies
nothing,
worked so
because it won't
desperately
be
to
none.
prevent your awakening. You're
I
not
just
just a
told
healer,
y'all
you're a
in one of my lives that we are literally of the earth, bro. Why do you think that it's bad to cut trees down? They give you oxygen to breathe in this life, bro. You can't make a fake one. It don't give off the same oxygen, babe. This is for the science guys. They need to listen. I know they're listening. Listen, you need to pay attention. Listen, you causing all of these things to happen. You won't need DARPA. Here we go, guys. You need me upstairs in NASA somewhere. Listen, you can't do what you're doing. It's like manipulate and you finessing auras, your own too, because we are part of this earth. We're supposed to treat it with care. We already, I'm sorry to tell you, but I'm telling you the reason why the tribes didn't do what y'all did. You see, you really tried to finesse my ancestors by, I can do it better. And you even said it, anything you can do, I can do better. You know, And you didn't understand those people were simple for a reason. They were, you know why? Because they were aligned with the earth. They were aligned with Mother Nature. So they knew to be kind to it. And y'all, it's like they looked over their shoulders like, what the fuck is he doing? When you went and brought those equipments and building stuff, doing it fast, looking back at them to see, you know what I'm saying? Few house niggas coming by, y'all. But they were simple for a reason because they knew you can't. Okay, this is to get to the point, PG. We already messing up by building all these goddamn buildings on this goddamn earth, okay? Say it ain't so. We needed TP, something light in the fucking street. You hear me? You did concrete, all this shit is making sinkholes, okay? So, now, what you do when you finesse auras like how y'all doing, Freemason boys, here, listen to me, babe. Because I'm really helping you, though. I really don't care if y'all bless me or nothing to get your karma, your good karma. I'm just really helping you so you could change your ways because the ancestors are saying things never change, okay? So, so, I think I'm going to let the ancestors clean it up because I say it too much. I do too much.
You're not just a healer. You're a planetary restoration system. Remember those fragments of childhood memories I mentioned earlier? The ones that slip away when you try to focus on them. Your protection team has been waiting for the right moment to unlock those memories completely. That moment is now. Hidden within your subconscious are detailed recordings of conversations that took place when you were too young to understand their significance. Military personnel, spiritual authorities, and off-world representatives discussing your future mission, specific predictions about the challenges you would face,
I feel like I got parasites, so that's really why I got one today. I don't drink beer every day. I probably drink one every 2-3 months. I don't drink like that.
Try to attack you
I don't even drink alcohol,
lifetime.
but I do have. I love my beer.
Identified by name before you even met them.
I think I need to start drinking one every week, one every 2 days, or one every day. Get rid of the parasites.
It's going to show you that your entire life has been orchestrated according to a master plan designed to prepare you for planetary healing work. Every toxic relationship taught you to recognize spiritual manipulation. Every financial struggle prepared you to understand material
Nah, but
abundance.
lager is better than
Every attack strengthened your protective
lager
abilities.
is better than any beer.
Every betrayal refined your discernment.
If you could stomach the taste, but it's better. It's natural.
When your memories fully unlock, you'll also remember the conversation where you agreed to this mission before incarnating on Earth. You volunteered for this. You chose this path. You signed up for every challenge because you knew the ultimate outcome would transform not just your life, but the lives of millions of people. And that transformation is about to begin. Your protection team doesn't just monitor your physical location. They track your quantum signature across multiple dimensions simultaneously. Every time you've had a vivid dream where you felt like you were somewhere else, every moment of deja vu that made you question reality, every instance where you swore you saw someone you knew in a crowd, only to have them vanish.
Did I tell y'all who listening to is Astral Autumn on
You've been
YouTube?
quantum jumping between
And this was
parallel
the first.
versions of Earth.
Excuse me. This was the first video in my most relevant in my For You.
Chontabensi. Your consciousness operates on frequencies that allow you to slip between dimensional barriers, often without realizing it. This ability is exactly why certain forces have been trying to anchor you in lower vibrational states through attacks and manipulation. But here's the truly insane part. Your protection team has been tracking these quantum jumps and has discovered that you've been unconsciously visiting parallel Earths where your mission has already succeeded. In these alternate realities, you've seen yourself operating at full capacity. You've witnessed the planetary transformation that occurs when chosen ones complete their assignments. You've experienced what Earth looks like when humanity operates from love instead of fear. These aren't dreams or fantasies. These are actual dimensional reconnaissance missions that your higher consciousness has been conducting to gather intelligence about your ultimate potential. But your enemies discovered your quantum jumping ability and have been trying to trap you in the most challenging version of reality, the one where their control systems are strongest. What they didn't realize is that every quantum jump you made was being monitored by interdimensional authorities who have now classified their interference as a cosmic crime. The penalty for trapping a chosen one in a lower dimensional frequency, complete removal from all timelines where they hold power. Your enemies aren't just losing in this reality, they're being systematically erased from every parallel Earth where they might have succeeded. There's something you need to know about the spiritual legal system I mentioned earlier. It's not just cosmic courts delivering justice. There's an entire enforcement division that specializes in soul contract violations. Before you incarnated on Earth, you signed agreements with multiple spiritual authorities. These contracts outlined your mission,
I
specified
do
your
have
protection
deja vu
requirements,
where I'm
and
like dressed
established
up
penalties
different and
for
stuff
anyone
since
who
I was little
interfered
though.
with your
But
spiritual
it's scattered.
development.
I barely have them.
Your enemies have been violating these soul
And I wake up
contracts on an
sweating and shit.
industrial scale. Every attack they launched, every obstacle they created, every attempt to steal your energy constituted a breach
Did
of
I ever
cosmic
tell
law
y'all
so
I've never
severe
had
that
not one bad dream ever in my life? I have novels and movies and just a lot of crazy stuff where, you know, my house is a marshmallow with clouds and I'm sitting on a marshmallow chair. I have animated dreams sometimes, but most of them always be scattered. I'll be at one scene one time and I'll be somewhere else, and I always had these ancient dreams. Sometimes it's like it's always a message in this shit. But I had these ancient dreams where I'm dressed up like a queen or something or whatever it is. Queen. I always say Queen Sheba, just to be funny. I call my daughter Queen Sheba because she act like it. She wants you to carry her around. But listen, I be having those. Let's keep going.
steal your energy constituted a
I
breach of
get it though.
cosmic law so severe that it triggered automatic
Boy, it should be
enforcement
nice.
protocols. But here's what's absolutely incredible. The Soul Contract Enforcement Division doesn't just punish violations, they provide compensation to the victims that exceeds the original damages by a factor of 7. Translation: for every dollar they cost you, you'll receive 7. For every day of peace they stole, you'll experience 7 days of bliss. For every relationship they poisoned, you'll manifest 7 genuine connections. The compensation process has already begun. That unexpected money flowing into your life, that's violation compensation. Those amazing opportunities appearing from nowhere, that's breach of contract restitution. The toxic people suddenly removing themselves from your life, that's cosmic law enforcement clearing obstacles from your path. But the enforcement division isn't finished. They're preparing to deliver the largest spiritual settlement in recorded cosmic history. Your enemies didn't just attack you, they attacked a protected bloodline operating under multiple intergalactic treaties. The legal precedent being set by your case will protect every future chosen one from similar violations. You're not just receiving justice for yourself, you're establishing cosmic
Y'all
legal
listen to this. I'm gonna
protections
peek at the
that
baby
will
again.
safeguard spiritual warriors for
Yeah,
generations to
Facebook
come.
is going. I
And the
mean,
settlement they're
YouTube is
preparing,
going dead.
it will give you
Already?
resources beyond anything you've ever imagined. Here's something that will give you chills. Every person who
Damn,
watched
that
this
sounded
video,
like I was saying
every
YouTube
individual
is
who
going dead. I
resonates
was
with
saying
this
that
information
YouTube,
has been
my this phone
specifically
going
guided
dead.
to encounter it at this precise moment. This isn't coincidence. This is coordinated awakening. Your protection team has been monitoring global spiritual frequencies, waiting for the optimal moment to release this information simultaneously to all protected bloodlines worldwide. Today is that day. Within the next 72 hours, every chosen one on the planet will experience the same awakening you're having right now. The same memory unlocks, the same ability activations, the same recognition of their true mission. But here's what's absolutely incredible. When all protected bloodlines activate simultaneously, their combined energy field will create a planetary protection grid, so powerful that dark forces will lose the ability to operate on
Alright,
Earth
I'm good. The
entirely.
baby sleep.
The attacks you've been experiencing, they were desperate attempts to prevent this moment from arriving. Your enemies knew that once enough chosen ones awakened to their true nature, their control systems would collapse permanently. That collapse has already begun. Financial institutions built on exploitation are experiencing mysterious technical failures. Political structures designed to suppress human potential are finding their influence mysteriously weakening. Media systems that spread fear and division are losing their ability to capture public attention. This isn't happening because of protests or political movements. This is happening because the spiritual frequency of the planet is shifting as chosen ones reclaim their power. Your personal awakening is part of a mass consciousness event that will be remembered as the moment humanity broke free from thousands of years of spiritual oppression. But the most incredible part, Your enemies know exactly what's happening, and there's absolutely nothing they can do to stop it. That third classified document I mentioned at the beginning, the one with the prediction that hasn't come true yet, it states that when you reach full conscious awareness of your protection status, your mission, and your true identity, a final phase of your spiritual development will begin automatically. This final phase will make everything you've experienced so far look like preparation. Your abilities will expand exponentially. Your protection will become absolute. Your influence will extend globally. But most importantly, the opposition that has plagued you for years will find themselves completely powerless to interfere with your mission. The document predicts that this final awakening will occur when you discover the truth about your protection status. Chosen one, that awakening is happening right now. Your enemy's time is up. Your protection is absolute. Your mission is guaranteed. And the most incredible part? This is just the beginning. Welcome to your true destiny.
That's my daughter named Destiny. Her middle name Destiny. Alright, my mama named my daughter. So we gotta switch places, YouTube, cause I'm finna change to my most wanted channel. So that I just wanted to go on this channel cause I see YouTube trying to go up with the price over there. So say that why not react over here? But I'm gonna switch places and put, hold on y'all, this YouTube right here, cause I'm gonna go on my most wanted channel so y'all can see the love from Facebook, and see what those people go through, so y'all can read their comments when they tell y'all about their experiences. Cause on Balenciaga, that's my spiritual channel, y'all. I never used to really, but let's give them some support. Alright, let's put that right there. This phone too heavy. This a big phone. I love Samsungs. Alright, I think that'll be good. Alright, y'all. I'm finna go on my most wanted channel. Thank y'all for chilling with me tonight, baby.